Okay, so that July 1st deadline, was that?
That was for the old bond measure.
I
That's
gotcha.
for that committee.
Okay, got it.
So just to be clear, what you all are doing, you already have a Citizens Oversight Committee for Measure E.
Right.
It's not going anywhere. What you're saying is you're going to create a different Citizens Oversight Committee for Measure LB.
Potentially, once we get the information, that's up to discussion.
It could also include the members that are already on that one, or is there a number, a minimum, a maximum?
There's a minimum of 7, and there's 5 categories that are set out in the education code that you have to fill. You have to have 1 member from a taxpayer organization, a student, a business,
Got it.
a local business. There's other ones, but that is all set out in the bylaws. That's all set out in the education code.
So in order to do this, you need to adopt bylaws first, and then you have to decide how you want to solicit for members after that. But you have to adopt the bylaws first.
You could do it all in once, but you have to actually have the members selected and appoint the members. That's really the key.
Right. So presumably, on August 23rd, which is our next meeting, we could do it simultaneously, and within that timeline, we could look at the process. And what comes before the board is something that we have presumably vetted out and have better knowledge of. So I would support that and continuing the item to next board meeting, making the motion.
May I ask Trustee Vice President Gable, are you able to get together bylaws by the August meeting?
What is in your board agenda tonight are the proposed revisions to the bylaws.
Right.
I'm hearing a couple different things, that we currently have a Measure E committee with a fully appointed membership of 7 members. So if the board is saying that they want to have a separate Citizens Oversight Committee with a minimum of 7 new members, then we would have to determine the process to appoint those 7 new members, and then we would be holding 2 separate Citizens Oversight Committee meetings each time we had a meeting. If the board is saying we would like to appoint additional members, so if the board would like to have 1 Citizens Oversight Committee that oversees both Measure E and LB, then what we potentially could do, I think as Member Otto suggested earlier, is we could add additional members, and those additional members we could then go out and solicit by application. As what we've laid out changes to the bylaws is that we would solicit applications. Those would be reviewed by the superintendent president and the board president, and then a recommendation would be made to the full board. So I guess I'm unclear on the direction that the board is asking. Are you asking us to have 1 committee and to expand the membership and to solicit for additional members and get that done by August 23rd?
I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, that's well, it sounds like we have 60 days from today. We can do it by September, correct?
Yes, as of both methods would work. You could do what you proposed. You could also do as Ms. Gable said, which is approve what you have here, come back, and then you would be outside. You would have already fulfilled your ed code requirements, so you would have more than 60 days. You could take your time with it more if you wanted to. Appoint additional members, and you could amend the bylaws again. There may be, you couldn't not, the only thing that you could not do is replace them, but you could add extra ones.
So I'm sorry, can you repeat the 60-day? That's for the bylaws, or that's
No,
for the
the
point?
the 60 days is for the members, and it really is only triggered because you'd be going forward without any members at all right now. If you appoint the members that you have in front of you, then the 60-day requirement is fulfilled, and you have a lot more time. You have as much time as you want to redo your process, vet your process, and add however many more members you please.
Add to the existing
Yes.
committee for Measure LB?
Yeah, and for E as well if you wanted to.
Okay. So if we approve this tonight, just the bylaws, the item before us,
Yes.
we can add to it
Yes.
later, correct?
Definitely. Yes.
I see.
Would you like to make that motion?
have a
There's a
question.
motion on the floor.
Oh, the motion on the floor, yeah. You made the motion and trustee Otto seconded it.
Right, and I would want to just, I don't have a problem with the bylaws. I'll just, go based on trust and what I'm being told. Hopefully, we won't have anyone not playing by the rules, but I would just recommend a friendly amendment to change the 3 consecutive terms, and defer it back to 2 consecutive terms, so more people have an opportunity to serve. Would that be okay with?
But we can vote on the amendment.
Yeah, we'd have to vote on the
Right,
amendment.
so-
We'd have to vote on the amendment first.
The amendment first, so.
Well,
the-
you would vote on the motion before you first, and then you
Then-
could,
and then the
you could come back and amend it again.
So the motion before us is as it is, and I'm making the amendment after we vote on the motion to,
So,
um,
so you
so
have made the
to-
motion, and
the
trustee
amendment
Otto-
would be to change the 3 consecutive terms to 2 consecutive. because-
Have to vote on the first one
Right, I'm
first.
just trying to
Okay.
recap what you were saying.
Can I ask a question to Vice President Gable? These bylaws that we have here, if you can educate me briefly, the college wrote those, or the committee, the council, how did that work?
They typically come from bond council. So the bylaws that we have here are the bylaws that we had in existence before Measure LB. So what we're trying to do is revise the bylaws so that it represents both Measure E and Measure LB. If you look up and down the state of K-12 and community college districts, our bylaws are, I would say, 80% identical in the wording of every other district up and down the state that has a Prop 39 bond.
And we can amend it and change it outside of this board meeting? What's the process for that?
So if
Does it have
if
to
the
happen during
board
the meeting?
if the board were to approve it as is tonight, and if you wanted to, let's say, add additional members, then you can direct us to change the bylaws and bring it back to the board for approval. And then once the board made the changes to the bylaws, so if the board added additional members, then what we would have to do after the board acted upon that, we would follow the process in the bylaws of selecting those additional community at large members.
And the clock would start, there would be no clock once we agree to that tonight?
Right.
That's
Got
true.
it.
That's correct.
Well,
Yes.
well, the clock would be 60 days for the additional members.
No.
No.
No,
Oh,
because you've established
that
it
at
with
any
the minimum amount of members, so you're set.
Okay, I got you now.
So let me
I think that's,
Let me make a suggestion. We have a motion on the floor, which is to approve this item. It's been seconded. We've had a thorough discussion. I'd like to call the question, see if we can get this voted on, with an understanding that this doesn't keep us from doing anything else, whether it's adding board members, amending the bylaws beyond what they are as amended tonight. And I understand that if that motion is successful, that Trustee Zia wants to make another motion to amend the bylaws tonight, and that we could do that. And then I think we would be done with this and ready to really tackle this instead of.
If I could, the additional motion to amend the bylaws should come with a new 72 hours notice. My recommendation would be that you amend the bylaws at the same time you appoint the new members,
Okay, if we want to do that.
if you desire, yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. How would we go about presenting the amendment for, like, let's say that to come back to the board? Do we need to announce it now,
No, it would
or
be
just within that 72 hours? So I would make that request that we bring that back to, and we don't have a clock for to have that process followed, right? Or additions
That's true.
made. Okay.
correct, yes.
So the motion that we're voting on, which I'm going to be amending once this vote happens, is for the 3 consecutive terms in the bylaws, correct?
No,
To-
That's
No.
what's before
no,
us.
I don't think you can do that.
That's what's in the bylaws right now.
Oh, what is in the bylaws right now is for 3 additional
Oh,
terms,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
that's
So
true,
I will be
yes.
voting no for it because I want a 2 consecutive year.
Let's call the question.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg.
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu. Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Nay.
Okay. So,
And now we go on to reports. And we will have this discussion at next month's meeting.
And just a point of order, again, I would suggest that there's an item in here where we talk about future reports or items that at that time, Trustee Zia would make that recommendation to the board chair, and then you can, working with the superintendent president, can agendize
Right.
and clarify. Because I heard a lot of discussion, and I'm not quite sure what it all was. I understand the 3-2, that was the one they did get, so you're going to work with, and so to show some clarity, at the end of the meeting where there's an opportunity, Trustee Zia can make that suggestion to the board chair, and then you can work with the superintendent president for agendizing it at our future meeting. Thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you, Trustee Kellogg. And so, Trustee Zia, you'll be doing that with your report, please? Sure. Bringing up the things. Okay, Academic Senate President.
Thank you, Board President Baxter. I just want to say that I'm very honored to be beginning my final term as Academic Senate President, and I am looking forward to working with all of you. I want to acknowledge and congratulate Superintendent President Oakley on his appointment as the next chancellor for the California Community Colleges. I think it's an overwhelming and outstanding honor and well-deserved, and I want to say that I was able to hear the talk that you gave in front of the Board of Governors, and I think it was one of the finest talks that I've ever heard, and at the center of everything you said was the concern for the student in the California Community Colleges. I was very proud that you come from Long Beach City College and you are going to be the chancellor, and you've made us look really, really good. And I thank you, and I thank you for the support that you have always given and shown faculty in terms of professional development and academic matters. And I think that your commitment to faculty is unwavering, and it shows in the fact that you were appointed to this high honor, that I'm looking forward to watching what you do with the California Community Colleges. So thank you so much, and I'm glad you're here for a little bit longer, and I'm looking forward to that time with you as well. I also want to thank Trustee Otto for his leadership in the last year. It's been an honor to get to learn from you and work with you, and I think it's no secret that your inspiration with the LEAD Academy was the impetus for getting it off the ground, and it's a program that I know is going to serve this college well for many, many years. So thank you, President Otto. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for your leadership. I want to welcome Trustee Malauulu, and I want to congratulate new board president, Dr. Virginia Baxter, who I've had a long-standing relationship with. She usually tells the story that I was her student. This is true. And I am pleased that you are now taking on this role, and I look forward to working with you as well as continuing the good work of the college with all of the vice presidents and the rest of our management team, and just looking forward to a very, very good year. Thank you.
Thank you, President Kane. Superintendent President.
Yes, thank you, Board President Baxter. So my first comment is to congratulate you. After many, 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 many years of service at Long Beach City College, I think you've assumed the appropriate job here. So congratulations, and I look forward to working with you over the next several months. Also, again, want to congratulate Trustee Otto and thank him for his service, and also congratulate Trustee Malauulu and welcome. I just have a few announcements. First, I want to thank all the members of the college who sent me kind notes, left voice messages, caught me in the hallway, and thank you for your vote of confidence and for the congratulations that you shared with me. It was not an easy choice to think about leaving Long Beach City College, and really it was a last-minute choice. But the state leadership, from the governor to the board of governors to the speaker to members of many organizations and chambers throughout California, really reached out to me and wanted me to take what we've done in Long Beach and take it across the state. And so that's what I'm going to do my best to do. And in serving the over 2 million students that we serve, I'm also going to take my experience here and working with this board to work with boards, the other 71 boards, to bring a focus to students and to ensure that every board meeting is focused on the students that we serve. So I look forward to that, and thank you all for all of your support. Obviously, as I've said, and as I agreed with the Board of Governors for the California Community Colleges, I feel an obligation to complete the fall semester here. Although after today I'm rethinking that, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I felt that I owed it to the voters and the taxpayers and the Larry Bolins of Long Beach to make sure that Measure LB is implemented in a way that will make them proud of the work that we do here at Long Beach City College. We also have a very important strategic plan that we need to get implemented that will put a clear focus on student achievement. And I thank Academic Senate President Kane for dedicating another year to make that happen. And so I look forward to working with everybody over the next several months, including the student leadership, to make sure that when it is time to finally leave, that things are well in motion and the students are being served as they deserve. I also want to make an early announcement. We have been working with the Community College Leadership Program out of the Roosh Graduate Center, and in particular I've been working with Dr. Terry Long to launch a leadership program here at Long Beach City College, and to work with the Roosh Graduate Center to launch a leadership program, a doctoral program in educational leadership, specifically community college leadership. We have come to an agreement, and we have begun the launch of that leadership program. At the next meeting, Dr. Long will have a report introducing the program. We hopefully will have a cohort of somewhere around 20 that will be working on achieving their doctoral program right here at Long Beach City College, and we hope that they will continue to work here at Long Beach City College and provide leadership. So we're very proud to enter into this agreement with the Roosh Graduate Center. We are the only community college in California that they've picked. They picked us specifically because of the leadership that we've demonstrated in the state and throughout the country. And I think it's a great opportunity for our employees, both classified staff, management, part-time, full-time faculty will all have a chance to take part in this doctorate program. So the next meeting we will have more on that. Other than that, I just want to thank everyone who's making this summer session very successful. Thank you to the staff, the faculty, who continue to work hard throughout the summer to serve our students. And I am looking forward to starting the fall semester and starting the new football season because we are going to win the state championship this fall.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Superintendent President. I just asked the student trustee if I could call on Larry Bolin. Larry Bolin wants to speak. Last month, he said he wouldn't speak if we'd let him go first. And I didn't realize he wrote first on here, but I wasn't processing till now, Larry. So would you like to come forward and speak for your 3 minutes? Oh, we can't do it? Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. And congratulations to everybody, Gerardo, Mr. President. I have something that just came up, and you were talking about Form 700, and this may, I hope not cause any dissension, but in researching the Civilian Oversight Committee, and I read the rules and regulations that were prepared by a law firm in Newport Beach. And I had a question, so I called the law firm, got a hold of the guy that wrote the thing for the state. And when I finished asking my questions, I asked something about Form 700. And he said, oh, by the way, we do not recommend to our clients, school districts, that are on the Civilian Oversight Committee, that they need to fill out Form 700. And the reason was because the people on the Civilian Oversight Committee have nothing to do with a contract. That's not part of their responsibility. So since they're at arm's length from those contracts, there's no need for the form. So I think certainly the Civilian Oversight Committee here, reading 2 times a year, isn't going to get anything done. I happen to be a critic of the process. We need to do something more, but now I'll start my speech if you don't mind. During my research, again, of reading Measure AB, which I did one afternoon, it was about 2,500 words, I found 4 words in that 14 or 15 pages that caused me a concern because it became part of the law. And those words were that the bond money could be used for replacing floor covering, which is carpets, could be used for painting interior and exterior of the buildings, could be used to patch leaking roofs, and could be used for overhauling bathrooms, fixing bathrooms. And I guess the idea was that as long as bond money had paid for all of that being installed in all these new buildings, that 20 years from now, you could use the bond money to go ahead and do what had been general and administrative expenses. In other words, a budgeted amount of money. So why should we care whether the money comes from the bond or the money comes from operating revenue? Well, here's why. The bond money is expensive money. For every dollar of that $850 million, it costs the taxpayers $2.25, whereas a dollar that is budgeted for a year costs $1. So those dollars that are taken out of that $850 million, the face value of that bond, may not resonate to the school, but it does to the taxpayers. That we're looking at the $2 billion that almost that it's going to cost. Because by the way, you know, $1.066 billion goes to the investors. The investors get more money than do the students, than do the taxpayers. Taxpayers and students are only going to get $850 million. But the folks who are in that business are going to get $1.066 billion.
Larry, you've got about 15 seconds left.
Okay. So I'd like to ask if we could. I'm not talking about this board using bond money to do maintenance, but I think in 20 years from now, we should define what are capital projects and what is maintenance. Because somebody could take all the maintenance money you save, put it in a fund, use it for salaries. And the whole idea in the bond says don't use it for salaries. So I wanted to share that with you, a little bit different look at the bond money, how taxpayers look at it and how the college may look at it. But those bond dollars are very, very expensive. And that's what happens when you have bonds for long-term bonds. It's expensive money. So let's use it judiciously for capital projects, but we got to define what that is. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Larry. Okay, student trustee.
Awesome, thank you. So first off, I want to congratulate Trustee Otto and Trustee Malauulu on their election, and also to our new board president, Baxter, on your election as well. I'm looking forward to an exciting year, and hopefully we can get a lot of things done as we usually do, you know. But it's finals week for those students who are taking 6-week courses. There's not really much going on this summer. For those of you who have been walking the halls, it's pretty slow. I'm really excited for the fall semester to begin. Registration already opened. Yeah, we're just really looking forward to actually seeing more students here on campus and actually talking to them about some of their concerns or their favorite things about their college. But the student government doesn't really work that much during the summer, but we do have we're having some discussions this Friday, July 29th. So we're just having like a bonding day event that day. But we are having some training in August for our new student government leaders, so the 23rd and 24th. The 23rd specifically, we'll be bringing our new ASB cabinet here to this meeting. So I'm looking forward to bringing them and meeting each of you. Hopefully we can be on our best behavior. But it'll be an awesome meeting. Looking forward to showing them about their participatory governance rights and their 9+1 rights and things like that. But super exciting stuff for the new student government leaders, and I'm hoping they can take the reins that the last year's ASB cabinet left in their wake. Yeah, I want to extend another congratulations to our Superintendent, President Oakley. Congratulations from student leaders across the state. We were really excited at the Board of Governors meeting. We're all student leaders across the state, and we kind of all know each other, and we're just kind of like texting each other like, hey, he got it. We're like, how do you know him? Anyway, so it's really awesome. We're really excited. It's going to be a great thing to hear more positive comments that we hear across the state about Long Beach City College. And I know our Superintendent, President Oakley, will do his very best to further all those positive comments. But yeah, really exciting stuff. I'm really looking forward to this doctoral program that I heard about, but I'll have questions later about that. Anyway, that's the end of my report.
Okay, thank you. Board of Trustees, Vivian Malauulu.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone that is still here. We appreciate your time. I would once again like to add my congratulations to everyone that's sitting up here and those who have served in positions of leadership. Definitely LBCC is the place to be and great opportunity. I would also like to say that I am excited about serving on this board, and hopefully together all of us here can maybe perhaps change the culture a little bit. I do serve on another board, and I mentioned this yesterday during our workshop. Sometimes when we don't agree on things, not necessarily me, but some of the gentlemen on that particular board step outside for a few minutes, and then they come back and they look a little, bloody, and they get ice. So I'm very confident that this board will not have to take 5 minutes to step outside and make decisions that way.
It might save time.
We also have a very popular longshore thing that we do where we flip a coin. If you can't agree on something, we flip a coin, and heads or tails, and it is what it is. So maybe we can implement some of that, make a board action. Anyway, I'm learning. I'm a quick study, and I have a lot of ideas and a lot of suggestions. My biggest challenge right now is trying to determine what is necessarily a board action and what is not. I spoke to Trustee Baxter a few weeks ago about some ideas that I had, and she was really good at telling me that's a board action, that's not a board action, and you can do this here. So hopefully within the next couple of months, we will be able to see some ideas come into fruition, and that will enhance the lives of our college community, students, faculty, and staff. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Zia.
Sorry, I thought we were going by order this way. You're changing things up. President Baxter. First off, I want to congratulate you on your presidency and the unanimous vote. I also want to congratulate my colleague, Trustee Kellogg. It was a healthy competition, and kudos to you for winning. I will still vie for it next year, hopefully. And I wanted to just also congratulate and echo the comments of folks that spoke before me. I don't think there's anybody on this board, perhaps one more, that is happier for you, Superintendent Oakley, that you're going up north in Sacramento. You're certainly more than welcome to go there and do your great work before the fall semester, and be a little bit more ambitious about the schedule. I hope you weren't saying, Trustee Otto, that by taking it outside that you're suggesting to beat us up, because I certainly have been taking my fair share of the verbal assaults by the gentlemen of this board. I'm hoping that'll change that culture. I'm certainly hopeful, but there's a lot of things that we need to address. We had our board retreat yesterday. We talk about it, but I'd like to see more actions. I think it'll be more genuine if we follow it up with actions and not just words. It was a great retreat. The gentleman's name is Doug Houston. What a wonderful facilitator. He was great in his mannerism and great takeaway points, some things that we can certainly enhance in our board dockets, providing more information so people can really have the ability and the visibility to look at what we approve. We have more knowledge to approve and have more fully baked information presented to us. So I certainly look forward to seeing us enhance our process and procedures to implement more transparency and strengthen our procedures and guidelines. I also wanted to say that some of you may not know this. I am a civil engineer by trade. I have shifted back to my love, which is engineering and construction. And one of my biggest projects is to get more women in STEM programs and science, technology, and math, and get them involved. And besides women, more students interested in engineering. I'm going to share this with our student trustee, and also want to put it out there to any members of the community and also any members of the student body of this district and beyond. There has been a collection, it's a kind of like a memoir of engineers, retired engineers, that are sharing their inspiration of going into science and math, and particularly engineering. And it's called Letters to the Young Engineer. It's a fabulous read. If our students are contemplating looking at this major, I certainly recommend it. It's a fantastic realm and discipline. There's certainly a deficit in our country. I certainly would like to see more Americans be employed rather than folks from overseas imported to fulfill the deficit. But this is something that I want to share with you as the members of the public and the students. You are certainly more than welcome to connect with me. There's so many inspiring quotes in here. One of them is, to be a professional engineer, you must have a strong moral compass and the courage to stand for what is right. And that is what I attempt to practice on an everyday basis, hence case in point on this board. And I hope this will be of value. If anybody is interested, you're more than welcome to contact me on my cell phone. It is 562-270-5017. There you have direct access to me as your public servant, or my email, info@sunnyzia.com. And it's also on our website at the internet, the Board of Trustees page. And with that, I will be going ahead on the items to bring to the board section. Trustee Baxter, President Baxter, I know you had asked me to bring that forward in my comments, but I believe the appropriate time it would be under agenda item 10.1 to look at the policies and procedures for our Bond Oversight Committee and the process will follow in adding more committee members. Thank you. That's all I have.